in the Bible, same Bible, he was his concubine. So if concubine and wife does not mean the same thing, there's another contradiction in the Bible. What was she? Was she his wife or concubine? If it means the same thing, you say, look, concubine means the same thing, and wife means the same thing, then there's no problem. Otherwise, there is an extra contradiction in the Bible, because one man, inspired by God, Musa alayhi salam, he said he was his wife. And that guy, an unknown writer, the book of Chronicles is an unknown author, he said she was his concubine. Is that a contradiction? If it is, then this is not the book of God. Another proof is not the book of God. Otherwise, we have to admit that wife and concubine mean one and the same thing. Right? Solomon alayhi salam had 700 wives and 300 concubines with whom he could have had intercourse. Was he committing adultery with 300? Solomon alayhi salam? Dawud alayhi salam? Every prophet of God had more than one wife. The second wife, if she is a concubine, is committing adultery? No. So that's his wife. It's just a type of label that you want to apply to londi hai londi, rakhi hui hai, whatever. Is she his wife? Was it legal? Sexual relationship between the two, was it legal in the sight of God and the sight of the Bani Israel? He said yes, it was legal. So his wife, she is his wife. Concubine and wife mean one and the same thing. Right, get back to page 32. Page 32. Back to page 32 in your Bible, and at the bottom right, in bold handwriting, right through across the 2 pages, incest between father-in-law and daughter-in-law. Incest between this is a specialized book on incest. If you want to know the types and types of incest that exist, you'll find it in the Holy Bible. And they say Muhammad copied the Quran from the Bible. There's not one of these things I find in the Quran. Incest between father-in-law and daughter-in-law. Right, in big writing across. Father-in-law and daughter-in-law, right at the bottom. Incest between father-in-law and daughter-in-law. And write down P35, page 35. So easy reference, you see. Instead of looking for chapters and verses, easy reference. Page 35. Page 35. Page 35. Page 35. Page 35. Page 35 and verse 15. Verse 15. Start reading. You, brother. Yes, you read loudly. Verse 15 on page 35. Read, read, read. Read, I said read. Verse 15, page 35, man, please. You can't find page 35. How are you going to give battle to the Nasara? Huh?
Okay. When Judah saw her, he thought her to be an harlot because she had covered her face. Verse 16.
Yeah, carry on, yes.
And he turned unto her by the way and said, Go to, I pray thee, let me come unto thee. For he knew not that she was his daughter-in-law.
Read on.
And she said, What wilt thou give me, thou mayest come into unto me? And he said, I will send thee a kid from the flock. And she said, Wilt thou give me a pledge till thou send it? And he said, What pledge shall I give thee? And she said, Thy signet and thy bracelets, and thy staff that is in mine hand.
In thine hand.
In thine hand.
Aha.
And he gave it to her, and came unto her, and she conceived by him.
Right, now you got the whole picture. You see, the story is chapter 38. At home you are going to read it. But now you circle these verses 15 to 18. Just circle them like this here. Just circle them in red. 15 to 18, circle them. Circle them. 15 to 18, just circle them. And you can have an arrow coming down from the shh. Arrow coming down from the top. Shh. 15 to 18, circle the verses. And she conceived. Father-in-law and daughter-in-law now. They have sex by the roadside. And she conceived, means she became pregnant. And you read further, when you read further, it will tell you that in 3 months' time, naturally if a woman is pregnant, it becomes apparent, 3 months' time. And she's carrying twins, is more apparent, carrying 2. So the abdomen will be double the size. So the old man gets the news. Now the story is chapter 38. You must read the whole chapter. Very interesting. You don't have to look for Arabian Nights, the unexpurgated edition. You have it in your house now. The Arabian Nights. You read it, read it. It's nice to know in this book of God, the holy book, what's holy about that. So it starts, chapter 38 starts, that Judah, the father of the Jewish race, from whom we get the word Judaism, Judea, Huda. Judah is Huda, Yahudi, all the words come from this word Judah, one of the sons of Yaqub alayhi salam. He had 3 sons, Onan and Shelah. That's what you will read in chapter 38. And was big enough to get married, so the old man gets her daughter-in-law by the name of Tamar. But something does, the Bible doesn't say what, which God didn't like, so God killed him. So what's the lesson? You do anything that God doesn't like, He can punish you, He can destroy you. That's a moral. Then the old man, according to Jewish custom, he said, look, if one brother dies, leaves no offspring, then his name will perish. No more. That name, Deedat, is no more. So now the second brother takes his widow to wife. He has sex with her, doesn't get married, no nikah ceremony performed, but as a duty, religious duty. So he tells his second son, Onan, he says, you go in and do your brother's wife and beget child by her, so the name of the deceased can carry on. Uska naam mit nahi jaave. His name does not perish. Otherwise, no more that Er's name will be finished from this earth. No more children left. So according to that, Onan, he goes into his brother's wife. And at the most critical juncture, he spills his seed on the ground. So God kills him also. It's called onanism. In the dictionary, Oxford Dictionary, you'll find the word onanism. Technically, it's called coitus interruptus. But God kills him also. Why? Because he was supposed to do a certain job of work, which he didn't do. Heartily he should have done it, but he spills his seed on the ground, so God kills him also. So now the old man tells his daughter-in-law, he said, look, you go and stay at your father's house until the third fellow is grown. And when he's big enough, I will call you, so he can perform his duty. But the old man, conveniently, he forgot. Conveniently, it suited him, because he had lost 2 sons, account of this witch. This woman is a witch. You know, old people, this is a witch. Do beta beta ko khage. He ate 2 of my sons.